Good afternoon.
Welcome to the Must Love Yarn podcast.
Yep.
It is Thursday,
The 29th of March.
Oh.
It is almost April.
Where did March go?
March disappeared, which is kind of good because March is kind of a gross month around here.
Well, we've had a lot of snow. Crazy.
A lot of snow. We had some mud, we had some snow, we had some mud, we had more snow. And lots of cold for March.
Yeah.
Like not super cold, but
it's been the sugaring season this year.
It's been weird.
Has been hopping, at least at my house.
Yeah, it's been a little bit schizophrenic, but you know, we started the sun was great, which really kind of helps warm things up to get the sap flowing.
Yes.
But
so anyway, so this actually is like a knitting, yarn, crafting podcast from our yarn store in Shelburne, Vermont.
Back here.
Back there. Behind us.
We're in the classroom area. Classroom
Yes.
and social knitting area.
Near the edge of it if you've been to the store. Mm-hmm. And I'm Angela.
And I'm Kelly.
And you can find the store out on all kinds of social media as Must Love Yarn. So we're on Ravelry, Instagram, Facebook, Periscope, sort of the normal, in the World Wide Web as Must Love Yarn. And you can find me out on social media, Instagram and Ravelry as Junior Bird Kid.
And you can find me on Ravelry as Kelly Spins. And you can find me on Instagram as Kelly O Spins.
Yep. And as we always say, feel free to friend or follow us on either of those. Follow us around on either of those platforms. I've gotten a huge number of new followers on Instagram lately. It's been super cool.
I know, it's so fun.
Yeah, really awesome.
I love following and seeing what people are making and doing. Because
then I get the ooh shiny and I'm off doing
it's kind of like Yarn Store Extended because I have the benefit of being here a lot of the time. So our customers bring in projects that they're working on, which is so fun. So we get to see, what everybody's doing for here. So it's kind of nice to have the digital part of it, because we send yarn to quite a few different places. All over the United States and then a few other countries too, which is really cool. We actually send quite a bit of yarn to Canada, which is kind of neat.
Yeah.
And some to Great Britain, to Australia. So we send it quite a few places. So it's really fun when we can connect with everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and the social media aspect of it has made it more of a global.
It really has.
Connections with people all over.
Yeah, it really has.
And same thing if you've stumbled across if you're new to the podcast, thank you for stopping by and watching. If you like, you can subscribe to the podcast. And I'm totally taking this out of order, but whatever.
That's okay. We can do that at the front. Most podcasters actually do it at the beginning.
I know.
We just do it.
That's our close. That's our closing.
I'll probably say it again at the end because I will have forgotten.
Yeah, that'd be it. So, do we get through all? Yeah, preliminary. Yes. So one of the things that we like, now I'm totally off my game, that we like to do for this podcast at the beginning is we offer picks of the week. And Kelly and I each pick out something, yarn, or sometimes it's a pattern book or other accessory or knitting stuff or crochet because there's a lot of it. And we offer you a coupon code, and with the coupon code you get 10% off of your order for 2 weeks. So we run the code for 2 weeks. And we've, done a few tutorials. There was a tutorial, I think, in episode 73 about where the coupon code goes. And just, make sure that the coupon discount is showing on the checkout page.
Yeah, it'll actually say discount amount, and then it'll have the little amount over.
Because if it's not there, then either the code's wrong or you didn't put it in the right place. So we just want to make sure that people are getting the discounts. And we are running into a tough spot with being able to retroactively apply those discounts. So, and I think as we said last week, if you aren't sure or you have a question, please email or call us first before you place your order. It's totally fine. Email us hello@mustloveyarn.com and we'd be happy to help you
walk you through it.
Like, just we want it to be a sort of good experience. So do you want to start with yours, or do you want me to reach down and start with mine? You're in the middle of the row. I will start with mine.
This is going to be a long row. I'm going to be in the middle of it for like the whole thing because I'm doing the little bit of a lace section.
Okay. So I'm keeping with the theme of that we're headed into spring. Here, some places are already in full force spring.
Some people are sending pictures of
Flowers. This is usually what my mom has been doing for quite some time about this time of year. Look at my pretty daffodils.
Thanks, Mom.
I know, but they moved, and so they don't even have yard in part of their so grass yet. So
so it was new construction,
brand new house they bought. So she has no flower pictures to send me.
Just mud.
Just mud, and I got plenty of that. Yeah. So it's no fun to poke fun with mud pictures. Anyway, all right, so. So my pick this week, I have knit a couple of different things, and I was going to pull them out of the Muscle of Yarn deep storage because we haven't rotated them in yet, but I didn't do that, so I'm sorry.
I can pull them. They're right over there.
That's all right.
Okay.
I've made a couple of things, a little lacy short sleeve sweater top and a little tank top out of this yarn. And what yarn, you say, are you talking about? So I'm talking about Elizabeth Lavold Silky Wool. And this is a really great, I think, like almost transition yarn. So it's not overly heavy. I mean, it does have silk in it. So and silk can be warm.
Can be, but it can also be kind of cool.
Yeah, and if you knit it up with something that's got a little bit more lacy feel to it, it provides a little bit of warmth without it being too much warmth.
Yeah.
So this is a really great yarn to work with. It's a DK weight, and we've got
a lot of colors.
Quite a few colors.
Yeah.
This one down here at the bottom is actually like a dark kind of bluey green.
And I think we have others on order. They haven't come in yet. Some new colors.
Ooh, that's a good shot.
There you go. I love this rusty color.
Yeah, that rust one is so nice. So this is a really great summer, spring type for, you could knit a shawl out of it, a nice little shawl, a nice little, cover up. You could knit a tee out of it. I mean, I knit a tank top type, and it holds up really well. It's super soft once it's been washed, and even before it's washed, it's not bad. So these are 50-gram skeins, 192 yards, and I think they read, I want to say, these are 11.
I think they're around 12.
This one's either $11.99 or Kelly's is $11.99, and the other one is $9.99.
Yeah, mine's $9.99.
Okay, so this is $11.99.
There you go.
For skein.
We'll figure it out.
I know.
We put the links in, so neither one of them are terrible.
Yeah, in show notes, you can find. So we will.
Silky Wool.
Silky Wool. So we'll make our coupon code this week.
Weekly pick.
See, now I can't get off the yarn counselor.
We won't use that for our code. You'll see it when you get to the end.
Why don't we just do weekly pick Silky?
Perfect.
With a Y. So same as Silky Wool. So weekly pick Silky is discount code.
And Angel put the code down here.
I put it down at the bottom.
Put it down here.
Yeah, down at the bottom. So you get 10% off of this yarn, and then you could get 10% off of the yarn that Kelly's going to show you.
Right.
So
okay,
take it away, Kelly.
So I did not knit this piece that I'm wearing, but it's a shop sample, and I put it on because of the yarn that I'm going to be showing you. So this is just a big, simple triangular shawl with lots of long fringe.
Sweet fringe.
And I'll show you. We made up this little tag to go with it. So it's the boat basin fringe shawl, and it's a pattern that was made specifically for the Taki Alden. So my pick this week is the Taki Alden yarn. So that's the label. there. And we've got a bunch of great colors. So there are solids and there are multicolors. The multicolors I think are actually a little bit more. I don't know. They're right around the same price. If anything, they're like $1 more. I think they're $1 more. So right now we have 2 multis in stock. We have others on order, but they're so popular that they sold through so quickly. So this right here is the color that the shawl I was wearing is made in.
Color 102.
So that's, 102. So we've got great colors. There are some really pretty jewel tones. There's some neutrals. So I think there's like 3 different grays, 2 or 3 different grays. This blue is really pretty.
I love that blue.
It is actually blue. Oh, there, you can kind of see it a little bit. That it is blue and not black, because I'm showing a little bit black, and that green's really lovely. And yeah, there's just some really, really great colors.
And this red is nice. It's got a little bit of black in with it, so it's really
So I think they
nice
used.
variation.
Let me tell you what the fiber content is. It's 50% fine merino, 25% alpaca, and 25% acrylic. So I'm pretty sure that they use a dark alpaca, and so that when they dyed it, you get this kind of heathered look to it, which is really lovely. And it knits beautifully. It is a single ply, but it's just a really, really lovely yarn.
And it's also a yarn that you could use for like garments and other stuff.
Yeah, so I mean, this is just the warmest shawl. It's really, really snuggly, and it's big. It's, even without the fringe.
How many skeins did that take?
I think this one is 4. This one's 4. If you weren't going to do the fringe, I think you can actually do it with 3.
Okay.
Because there is a lot of fringe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the width is 70 inches, and the length, so the wingspan is 70 inches. The depth of it is 34, and that's not including the fringe. So with the fringe, it's even longer.
Nice.
And there is a little bit of errata, which we actually I put on here just so people would be aware of it. But if you go on to Ravelry, you can get this pattern individually. They did a collection, but this one is available in individually through Ravelry. And there's Christy Glass. She modeled this collection that they did and this came out this fall. So boat base and fringe shawl.
Nice.
That you can do. So yeah, it's knit on size 7s, and it's a quick knit. I of course didn't knit it, but I've knit shawls like this before.
And like any I can't talk today. DK weight shawl. Well, that didn't work.
There's gonna be a pile of yarn. No. Here, I got the light to come back on.
All right, note to self. Throwing yarn will not set off the light motion sensor.
Remember those really big balls of yarn that we had? They were called
those
big ball
probably
flowers.
would have, yeah.
I bet those would have made it come
Those
back
totally
on.
would have.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
You guys needed a little entertainment anyway, didn't you?
So like any DK weight shawl, like the Jodie that knit along, that's starting April 1st through the Ravelry boards, it goes fast.
Yeah.
They're super quick.
I didn't give the rest of the information
okay.
on this. So this is a 50-gram skein, 250 yards, because because of the way it's spun. It's spun really light and lofty. So this is 4 skeins, but it's really, really lightweight, but super, super soft because of that alpaca in there.
Nice.
So anyway, that's my pick of the week.
Yay! Cool. So we hope you have enjoyed it. PSA from a pick of the week a couple weeks ago.
Oh, right.
The Tutti Frutti,
which is the Reggie cotton blend yarn. We've got 2 of the colors back in stock that people wanted, the dragon fruit and the strawberry. The watermelon is on back order, so it'll be a little while before we'll have that in, but we'll extend the code for at least the other 2 that came back in. So if you wanted dragon fruit or strawberry, those are back in stock. I think there's 5 each of both of those. So
Yep. For the code that was originally announced at the podcast, we do for one more week.
Mm-hmm.
One more week.
Yep. So I'll
till next
extend
was
that.
tomorrow, next week, the 6th.
Yep.
So catch those, and when the other ones come back in stock, we may circulate them through again.
Yeah.
As another
We usually
pick
do
in a
that
few
kind of
weeks.
thing. Yeah.
Yep. So I am only wearing one knit thing today.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice. It was like 50 degrees outside.
I know, it's really kind of
I
nice.
took my coat off. So I'm wearing my hydrangea shawl, which you guys have seen a ton on here. It's so that's probably the wrong side. It's one of those ones that's
From
kind
that
of
far
hard
back,
to
you probably
tell
can't even see.
which is right and which
Yeah,
is
because it's
wrong.
got garter stitch in
Yeah.
between.
So it's just a really nice nice transition. It's not too heavy. Like I've got a couple of DK weight shawls, and they're really nice for when it's cold, a little bit colder out. But when it starts to warm up and you want something to just keep the cold off the back of your neck, this is really nice. And plus it goes with like everything and is kind of muted. I did go to court this morning, so I didn't want to wear too wild of crazy shawl.
Not Counselor of Yarn.
Counselor of Yarn. I know, and yeah, the judge I was in front of is not as enamored by that kind of stuff. So I had to like keep it toned down. So, some other places I could, pull the Counselor of Yarn stuff. But anyway,
Yeah.
for any of you that are new, my day job is an attorney. So,
And my day job is Counselor of Yarn.
yes, it is. She is. Counselor of Yarn and many other things. So, yeah.
Swatches.
Do you in swatches? Counselor of Swatches. We'll have to come up with like a whole title. That'd be awesome. Do you have any finished objects this week?
I do. I don't know if Angela's going to let me count them as finished objects.
You totally can. I mean, if I can count whips in progress as the yarns wound and the needles are in the same project bag, then you can count these as
Okay.
finished objects.
So for anybody that's been watching, I mentioned that I recently got a circular sock knitting machine. It is an Erlbacher Gearhart. I've got the Speedster, and it's red like my shirt. And I know it's super fancy. So I've been cranking out some socks. And I didn't bring the very first couple that I did. The very first one I did was too big. I'm going to just pull the yarn out, and it didn't really fit me. But I was just kind of playing around with tension and stuff anyway, so it was really just more to get a feel of the. The next one I did one sock, and then a couple days later I did its mate. But I had done the second one after I had done a couple other socks, so I had changed the tension. So the socks are different sizes. So I'm probably going to pull one or the other of those out and redo them.
Well, I'm glad to know that machines have the same problems that I do when we come to knitting socks.
So I ended up, the next pair that I did them all in one day, so the tension was still the same. I didn't line up my stripes exactly, but it's fine.
It's so cool, Cal.
So this is my very next ones that I did. So this is not a true rib because my the ribber needles for the ribbing attachment are on back order. So this is actually a mock rib, and you achieve that by pulling out some of the needles in your regular cylinder. So anybody who's used sock knitting machine before or seen how one works, you can actually pop out needles. So every fourth needle I pulled out, and it makes it so it acts and looks somewhat like a rib, but it's a little bit more open. So if you had a true purl stitch in there, there'd be more yarn. There'd be another layer of yarn because of the way the purl stitch is formed. So there's just a little kind of a bit of a space in there instead. And I do my heels and toes on the machine. It's you basically just do short rows, and that's how you achieve that. I did a folded, or in sock knitting machine they call it a hung hem, because you actually you start here and then you knit all the way down, and then when you get to this point you have to pull these stitches back up onto the machine, and then you knit them in and around, like you would a hem on a sweater or or something else. And what that does is that makes it a little bit thicker, so it's going to be less likely to slide down. And then with the mock rib, it does act quite a bit like a rib and kind of pulls in. So that was my my first full pair that I did that I was happy with, and these fit really well, which is nice. And then you do the toe the same, and because I do top down socks, you Kitchener here across this part of the toe. So you're working down. Can't see because I'm showing you from the back. So you work down to here, and then you only work back and forth on these stitches, and then you do your short row, so you're decreasing down, and then you increase back up, and then you have this little flap, and then you have to Kitchener this piece here to the top of the sock.
Yeah, okay.
So
that's almost more like a regular sock, like commercial
sock. Yeah, exactly.
Sock construction.
Yep. But I don't mind Kitchenering at all, so I don't mind doing it that way. Doing it the other way, toe up, I really like a nice, tight, dense sock. And so when you do heels and toes, sometimes you have to loosen your tension, or it gets so tight that it makes it really, really hard for the sock machine to be able to go around.
Okay.
So I can keep my tension a little bit tighter if I do a top down rather than a toe up. So that's why I've been doing it that way. And like I said, I really don't mind doing the Kitchener. But if you do it toe up, you don't have like any sewing to do at the end, like nothing.
Yeah.
So, so that's kind of cool.
2 ends to weave in, or no? Not even.
I do. I know some of the people that have been using sock machines for years, they use like one of the little latch tools, and you can just kind of weave it through really quickly. But yeah, I do kind of just weave them in a little bit at the end. So I wasn't paying attention when I was doing these to get the stripes to line up exactly, but I still love them. They're really fun. So this is opal sock yarn, and it's a nice super wash and nylon. They're gonna wear well. So I have that pair, and then look, guys, we got more Reggie back in.
Yay! And all kinds of colors. And this style, this is new. Is this new?
So it's not a new one. So the ones that we've had are the Arnie and Carlos design line.
Okay.
And those are really cool. Those are the ones we've had, and we have 2 different styles with multiple colors of the Arnie and Carlos, and that's what they have available right now are the 2 styles. And then Reggie itself has their own Perfect line, which a lot of those are striping. So I brought in 2 other full color range of theirs. And so some of them are like this, where they have the plain foot and then the leg has stripes on it. And this is color, it's Cheesecake 7117 is the name.
Because that's always what I think of when I think of cheesecake.
I know, right?
7117.
I know. So, so we've got the Perfect back in. They're not exactly perfect because I wanted to make sure that I when I did this, because I still didn't have my ribber, I only did a little bit of rib up here. I didn't do the full leg because I really wanted the stripes to be more or less uninterrupted. So I wasn't sure how much of this first stripe there was, but there's a lot more of it. And I could have just done a regular, but I used some of the yellow on the inside for my folded or hung hem.
Yeah.
And on this one, there wasn't as much yellow, so I didn't end up using as much, and the hem is much shorter. Like you can see here, it's only this tall, but they're still gonna be fine. And I did that so that the stripes would match up. Because on these, because they're supposed to be perfect ones, I wanted them to line up. So unless somebody's like really scrutinizing these on my feet as I'm wearing them, you're never gonna know. So, but I thought they were really fun. So it was really funny. I came in on Tuesday, which is usually my day off from here, and I saw Carol told me that they had come in, so I grabbed a skein because I wanted to try them out. I went home and cranked out a sock, and then I had to come back for a meeting later in the afternoon, and I brought one with me. And Carol's like, "You didn't." Yep, I did.
Yep.
So
that's amazing.
It's because it's still, there's a little bit of a learning curve in it. That I fuss a little bit more over the heel and toe. I can do a sock in a little over an hour now.
Wow.
So 1 full sock. And of course,
Amazing.
that doesn't include the kitchening.
Right.
I have to sit down for a few minutes and just do that, but that's really quick too. Because Kitchener is pretty quick for me.
Amazing.
So, yay! I have a couple new pairs of socks.
Nice.
That's what I'm making everybody. Like, these guys, we a lot of times exchanged gifts for, like, birthdays and Christmas and stuff like that. And I told everybody, I'm like, you guys are all getting socks this year.
We're like, yeah, hardship.
I have to get Jen's done because her birthday was at the beginning of the month. So.
Yeah.
But I didn't have my sock machine then. But I wanted to practice. I didn't want her to, like, get socks that were, like, funky. So.
Like, I'm pretty sure my grandma was on the receiving end of some of my really early knitting projects.
So yeah, so if you guys want to check out the new colors of the Reggie, if you go to our website, mustloveyarn.com, and there's an upper left-hand corner, there's a search box. If you just type in Perfect, Pairfect,
They'll all come up.
they'll come up. So Perfect, right there. All of the options will come up for the ones that match up. I don't have any of the regular Reggie that isn't the Perfect, but the Perfect is the one that we've had the most people asking for. So, because they're kind of fun.
It is fun.
So, and there's lots of fun stripey ones. So if you like stripes, you're in luck.
Yeah, I know. I was eyeballing some of those, and I was
know.
like, walk away.
I know.
You don't need any more
I have
sock yarn.
so much stash sock yarn that
ridiculous.
it is ridiculous, but I just was like, I want to play with these.
But now I know where I can get rid of my stash sock yarn at Kelly's.
The only thing that I do have to do is I have to wind them into a cake because it has to be pulled from the outside, so there's not any tension on it. Because if there's tension, because a lot of people will use cone yarns or yarns on cones for the sock machines, but you can wind them into a cake too, and just as long as it pulls from the outside.
From the outside.
Yeah.
Nice. So I don't have any finished objects. I was still going to try to count the hitchhiker, but you guys all saw that I finished that on the podcast last week.
They were witness
so
to it.
Don't think that counts again, though I haven't even woven in the ends. It's been sitting in my knitting bag. Because I had a very unfortunate episode at the end of last week where I got a little bit of the tummy troubles. If you're local here, you may have heard of a certain restaurant that was having some problems, and I may or may not have eaten there, allegedly, during that time frame. So, but I'm back on my feet, and we're all fine. Fine. And never eat salad again at a restaurant. So that's what I get for trying to eat healthy. Sticking with burgers and fries and deep fried stuff. Ridiculous. Anyway. So knitting time. She'll tell you how good I felt. Didn't do a huge amount of knitting.
Yeah.
Lately, and this week was super busy for me at work, so it's been.
Yeah, I knew you said you were flat out this week. So.
Next week is a little better, and now I've just jinxed it.
So,
but I have been kind of trucking along. I think since maybe I have
so
knit more. So my charm is down here. This is on the Spice Market shawl, but I think I just didn't move it after the last podcast because that can't be right. So I'm just finished my second color of dots.
That's cool.
So I'm getting ready to start this third color in the scheme in the dots. So that's coming along. I'm glad I cast it on since we are running a knit along because Kelly and I wanted to knit the shawl.
I know, and I didn't.
The knit along is still going, so there's still time. Look,
Yep.
I'm not probably gonna make it by the deadline, but maybe.
You don't count anyway.
I know I don't count anyway. So the On the Spice Market shawl knit along is still running through April 16th.
I know.
And we've had, there's some really gorgeous finished objects on the boards on Ravelry. So if you want to come over and take a look at some of the color combos that people put together.
That's my favorite thing. I love color so much that it's just fun seeing what people, what they like and what they like together. And
Absolutely. So yeah, take a gander over at some of those. Some people have done some really gorgeous ones. So, what do you? Are you in the middle of a row?
Well, yeah, but like I said, it's a long row, so right. I'm going to be in the middle of it for a while. So I am working on Jodie, and I have, what did I say? I've got two more rows of the color number 2.
She's like T-minus 14 rows until she can cast on the Changes Shawl.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. See, she got me.
I was paying attention.
Yeah. So so you can see the lace section forming here, and the darker color is color 3. And so I've got one more. I do 2 rows of this color 3, and then one. Well, I say rows, but they're not. They're groupings because you have to do 2 because it's garter stitch to get the little bumps. So I have to do technically 4 rows of color 3 and then 2 rows of color 2, and then color 2 is gone, and then I finish up the lace chart, and then it's not too far after that I will be binding off.
Be done.
So, which is great. So this is the Jodie Shawl kit that Peggy Jane Fibers put together for us. When she originally put one together, she did one colorway. But we've had a lot of people who wanted this colorway, and we sold out. We had 15 kits, I think,
quite
to start.
a few kits.
We had a lot, and it took a little while for them to sell out.
That was that whole order that Kelly was giving me the side eye over.
Yeah. But anyway, so we sold that. I think just last week sold the last one.
Yep.
But so we had people who were wondering if we were going to get more, and yes, I emailed with Kelly of Peggy Jane, and she is going to. This is not a base that she regularly stocks, the DK, so she has to order more of this.
Yep.
And she's going to do 5 more kits in this colorway. Mm-hmm. And then she's going to do 2 other colorways. She's going to do 5 sets of each of 2 new colorways.
Okay, so we'll have 15 more kits.
Yeah.
And
so she's going to do one that's kind of like a teal-y, turquoisey colorway, and then she's going to do one that's kind of like warm tones, like peaches, pinks, reds, nice. That kind of thing, I think. Those are the ideas I gave her anyway. I sent her some inspiration pictures of kind of what I thought would work for a lot of people.
Nice.
So, because it's going to be she said 2 to 3 weeks for those. Ange and I were talking, and we're going to extend the deadline for the Jodie Shawl, which doesn't start until Sunday.
So we're starting a knit along for Jodie Shawl.
Right.
It starts April 1st.
Yeah, this Sunday.
And we were going to run it through the end of May. Mm-hmm. But since we are going to have some more kits and it's going to take us 2 or 3 weeks, I think we're going to extend that. We'll either bump it to the middle of June or maybe the end of June, just because. So it'll be running for quite a while. So if you really wanted one of the kits and you didn't get one, don't worry. You can still get one in a few weeks and still join in the fun, or you could just knit 2, start on the 1st and when the kids come in, knit a second one. It's a fun project.
Yeah, we'll extend it because it's not it's a pretty quick knit. So even if you waited until these came in, it would be
still
yeah.
But we'll bump it out.
So this is the original kit that we did. It was kind of that really pretty blue to purple to like a really dark over dye with black. It's kind of got the same purples and blues and stuff in it. So it's really pretty. And there's little bits of green throughout, which is really cool. So
awesome.
So this is the original. So we'll have more of those, and we'll have more.
2 other colorways.
We'll have 2 other new colorways that have never been seen before.
And as soon as we get we show them on podcast.
Yep.
So that's a good way, or just stalk us on social media, because we'll tend to throw stuff out there sometimes too.
And we are so lucky to have so many great indie dyers
that are so
around
local to
us.
us.
I know. They're so awesome. And we're like, hey, so we're going to be doing knit-alongs.
These like harebrained ideas,
I
and
know.
they're like, oh, okay.
They're like, sure, we can make that happen. So
Speaking
we
of
love
like
them all.
random knit-alongs, we're not going to go into too much detail today because we'll talk more about it next week because we will have our Legacy Fiber Arts sock kits.
That's right.
Sock kits for what, you say? We're gonna do, I think I'm just gonna do it as a Shorty Sock along.
Shorty Sock
so people
along.
don't have to do the jelly rolls pattern. So this started with the jelly rolls pattern, and Sue from Legacy Fiber Arts
Yeah.
was knitting a pair, and I just
They
was
were
like,
stunning.
oh, they're so cool. We should do a knit along, and I should see if Sue will do some kits for us. And of course, because she's awesome, she totally humored
I
me.
know.
And the kits are coming back, I think this weekend.
Yeah, so-
or early next week.
Yeah, Chelsea's going down for...
I heard rumors that Sue was
Easter.
keeping her till Tuesday.
That's fine.
So I know.
If she
It's
does.
totally fine.
We'll get our yarn when we get it.
I know.
It's no big deal.
No, I know. I was just saying like that Justin was coming back.
Oh, well, he could. He
Anyway,
might just bring the yarn anyway. So
But it's fine. So
when it comes, it's
Right.
cool.
anyway.
We're,
All right,
we're
so
way off topic.
we are
again.
totally off topic. So
You guys are used to this.
I know. I cast on for the jelly rolls. And as you can see, mine are at a point where they need to be, the two rolls need to be joined together. And I figured, actually, while that might make for some entertaining podcast watching, maybe better left to a different time. Because I do need to double check the directions to make sure I'm putting the right roll on top.
In the right order.
In the right order.
That's pretty.
Yeah, so this is Legacy Fiber Arts yarn. I don't know what colors are coming in the kits because I told Sue Dyer's
fun with it.
choice, have fun. So it's possible that we could see some of this. So this is a sock kit that I got from them, and this is the Lily Pea colorway. So they have the whole Lily Pea line, and then it's a coordinating green tonal.
That's pretty. That's really
gorgeous.
pretty.
That-
This is the first time I'd seen it in person because I saw it online,
yeah,
and
that
it was
Lily
really
Pea is
lovely. But this is really gorgeous in
really
person.
cool. It's got these great little green flecks.
Yeah, it's
that
lovely.
pick up on the green that's there.
I know Sue is coming out with so many. She's doing a whole Lily Pea collection, which is really fun.
It's gonna debut at Maryland Sheep and
And
Wool.
yeah, and she's been like dying up a storm.
Every time
I know.
Anyway, she's amazing. So stay tuned. We might have some kits that look like this. I don't know what other colors Sue's sending up. I told her to have fun with it. But we will be getting, maybe we get 15, 20 kits, something like that. I don't know, we can't remember. Whatever she sends us.
Unless I end up with all of them.
Yeah.
They better come on a day when I'm not here.
I believe we'll be showing these on the next podcast. Probably gonna start the Shorty Sock along like April 16th, April 17th at the end of the On the Spice Market
That's
shawl.
perfect because that allows people enough time if they want to buy kits from us, they can get the kits and we'll
That's
get them
kinda
out in
what I figured.
time. And
That's kind of what I figured. It's also a good place to stash dive, or if you have leftover yarns or like that one skein of something. I mean, you could even buy an individual skein of Legacy Fiber Arts from us. And if you had like a leftover from something else, pair it up with that. You don't need a huge amount of the second color for the jelly roll socks. I will start a thread in our Ravelry boards, and I'll throw in some pattern suggestions. There's 2 or 3 great patterns for Shorty Socks. I just have been wanting to make the jelly rolls for a while.
they're adorable.
And
I can't use my sock machine with them though.
no, because it's nope. Gotta hand knit these. So hopefully next week I'll have these joined and the heel done, and maybe part of the foot. Maybe I'll have a whole sock done. That's not gonna happen. At least part of the heel done, so you can see a little bit more of how they work. But they're great, sort of two color sock.
And don't they have like right like mid-foot. Isn't there like a little panel of like corrugated rib or something there?
With 2 colors.
Yeah.
Yep. So there's some really interesting details on them as well. And I mean, I love Shorty Socks for summer. I wear them all spring and summer, even up here when it's super hot.
Yeah, I wear a full, unless it's like 90 degrees and like 90% humidity.
Yeah.
I'm usually.
So we're excited. I can't wait to see what Sue put together for us on those kits. But you know, we've got tons of the Piggy Jane.
She's got some
yarn
awesome
would be amazing for socks like this, or any of the Fiber Stash yarns would be also fantastic. So, and I'm given my Knitter's Pride Zings. So we have these new in the store.
We
the
do.
Zing double points.
I've already got to reorder some of the sizes we're out of.
Interchangeable, so I'm giving them a whirl. I love them so far.
Well, that's a lot of people. There's some great metal needles out there, and I've used a high before, but I frequently jab them through my index finger.
I do too, particularly in the winter.
Because they're so sharp, especially the smaller sizes, the sock sizes. And these are the 2 fingers, my thumb and my finger are the ones I burned, so they never like got back to their normal. So, but even just having dry hands in the winter, it's not.
So what I'm waiting to see, and only time will tell with these Zings, is whether Hulk Hands over here can manage to bend them. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But so far so good.
Good.
So far so good. So that's my other whipses that I have with me. I do have, and I showed it last week, the eye blink shawl that I'm knitting for somebody else.
Oh yeah.
I probably won't bring that in and show it again until it gets a lot closer to being done, or it is done, just because there's beads and it's just easier to leave at home.
It's not easy traveling.
Nope. So I've been working on that a little bit as well. That one has a deadline, so I kind of have to be pretty mindful of my time.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been working on.
So I've really been just doing the sock knitting machine thing, kind of figuring that out, figuring out, different techniques and figuring out the tension. The tension is really the thing that I have to work with the most and figure out what I like. Because a lot of the sock yarns I use are very, very similar in weight. Some of them are heavier, so then you have to play with it even a little bit more. But so yeah, I've been doing that. I've been working on the Jodie shawl. I've been doing some other customer finishing pieces and things like that. So I haven't had tons of knitting time, but I'm getting there. And like I said, yeah, I really want to. I'm enjoying this knit and I'm enjoying this yarn, but I really want to get to the Changes shawl too, because it's so pretty.
I think both. So we should probably transition to that now. Do you have other works in progress that you wanted to show?
Nope.
Okay.
This is really just this.
Okay.
Right now.
So Kelly and I both are probably going to be making, not probably, we've got the yarn for the Changes shawl.
I had the yarn for on the Spice Market too, but then I filched some from that to make the Changes shawl. So
it's all right, it's fine. So we were very nicely gifted a copy of the pattern and a copy to give away to our podcast crew, and we decided to just run the contest for a week, and I can't believe we have like 46 entries in a week.
I know, that's great.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So
we asked you guys what activity or activities you'd like to participate in as the seasons start changing from winter into spring, and a lot of them were the same. A lot of them were just kind of like getting outside or listening to the birds or going for long walks, and which are all things that this time of year you just like, you have to get outside and you get that fresh air, and because you feel like you've been like stuffed inside for months. And
so in case anybody doesn't know what we're talking about, last week, the 20th, I think, Mina Phillip, who's the knitting expat, knitting expat designs on Ravelry, released her most recent shawl design, and it's called Changes Shawl. And I'm just gonna, do I have the...
Oh, I didn't bring mine with me.
Oh,
Yep. Yeah, just got it.
I've got it.
So pretty.
So it is a gorgeous, giant shawl. So this,
And it's modular too, which is so fun.
yeah, so I know that's not giving anything away.
Not the stitch
there.
pattern or anything, no.
So you knit it in pieces, or kind of, but it's all, so you start here, and then you knit this way, and then down, and then this way, and up. So there's
Really
a lot
fun.
of sort of break, the stitch pattern gets broken up, but I mean, this takes 2 full skeins of a base yarn, main color yarn, and then 10 20-gram minis of different colors. So this is another place to use up stash, or you buy those little mini skeins and you're like, what am I gonna do with this?
Yeah.
Because they're really cute and they're only a few dollars or whatever. So this is a good use for that. So both Kelly and I kind of went sort of maybe a little bit stash diving. If you want to hear the funny story about how Kelly carjacked my yarn last week, go listen to the last episode. But anyway, she has very good taste. We'll just leave it at that. So Kelly showed her yarn last week,
yeah.
and I'm gonna knit these last 4 stitches here.
And the least that I could do was donate a mini skein to Angela after stealing her yarn.
It's the least she could
It's
do.
the least I could do.
Because I have a yarn shortage at my house. Clearly, what was I going to do? How was I going to find the yarn for this? All right. So last fall at Needles Up,
Indie Untangled.
I wasn't there. I sent an order in with Kelly because Nicole from Hugh Loco had put together a shawl kit for Helen Stewart's surprise party shawl. This is relevant.
We swear.
We swear. So the surprise party shawl consisted of 2 full skeins and 5 20-gram minis. So I thought, wow, that's probably a good starting point for me. I already have this huge batch of yarn with 2 full skeins and 5 coordinating minis. So that's what I did.
So you had, yeah.
So I had
start to
a
it.
good start to the yarn. So these, I'm not even going to be able to show these in order because there's too many different varieties. So these 5 came with the shawl kit. So I'm going to use those. And then I have this Legacy Fiber Arts one that was another mini that I had from something else. I had this Hugh Loco
That came in the bag for the
Indian.
India
Untangled.
Yep.
That matches. Kelly donated this Legacy Fiber Arts skein.
Which is a sister to the Hocus Pocus. That's
Yeah.
the Hocus Pocus line, and sister one to what I'm using.
So we're up to 8. I found this one in my stash. And then I came and was perusing the yarn. Let's see if I have like a yarn tower.
She needs some help.
No, I got it. It's good. And I found this Legacy Fiber Arts yarn to go that matches
That's so
with the
pretty.
yellows and the rusts. So this is going to be my 10th color.
Nice. And she'll have enough left where she can do some socks, or because you only need 20 grams.
Yeah.
So she'll have plenty left. To do
Whatever
with
am I
socks.
going to do with
Or
80
a
grams
shawl,
of
or-
merino cashmere and nylon? What is a girl to do? So anyway,
It's a hardship.
It's such a hardship. So there's my 10 mini colors. Totally different color palette than the one I was looking at with Kelly's. but I like it.
I do too.
And I think it's going to be super cool, totally different. So it'll be fun for Kelly and I to do our little personal knit along here with the Changes Shawl and see just how different.
Yeah, and if you guys want to join in,
yeah,
Mina is hosting the knit along over on her Ravelry group page. So if you go to Knitting Expat group, you can find it there, and we'll link to it in show notes too.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. So join the fun for that one. Primrose Yarn Company has put some kits together.
They were for pre-order, so I don't know if she's closed that or not yet, but if she hasn't, I did link to it in show notes last time, so head on over to our show notes, and the link, it'll still be there to Primrose Yarn Co.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah, so we did do the drawing.
Yes.
And we haven't announced who won.
Nope, because I was just drawing it out. Drawing it out.
We have to do this.
Yes. All right.
So Ange used random number generator on her phone. We had, would you say 40 something?
46.
46. So
47 entries. So 2
but the
through
first
47.
post, my first post comes out.
Yep.
So the winner
is
the number was
post number 17. Jan Stoff, which is Jane. We know Jane.
Jane lives on the other side of the state, but we get to catch up with her on occasion because she comes over. We saw
and we ship her things.
We do, and we caught up with her at Vermont Sheep and Wool.
Yeah. So Jane shared with the group that her favorite thing is walking her dogs through muddy roads, watching them inhale with curiosity and delight each new smell, while she listens to the birds sing their "We're Happy It's Spring 2" songs. And the least favorite part is trying to clean the muddy paws off of the aforementioned pups.
Yeah, me
which
too.
is true.
Me
so,
too. I'm right there with you.
Congratulations, Jane. What we will do is either Kelly or I, and we'll make sure both of us don't bother Mina, but one of us will let Mina know who the winner is, and she'll send that pattern over to you. So thank you everybody for entering.
And for those of you that didn't win, definitely check out Mina's pattern, and if you're gonna knit along with her knit along, let us know, because we'd love to, keep an eye on your feed so we can see what colorways you're doing. So that'd be so fun. Yeah. I the color part of it, like I said,
it's just amazing.
That for me is the really fun part. I just love color so much. So
yeah. But yeah, super fun. And you could get really creative with it. And it's a shawl that looks like it will, you can use a wide assortment of tonals or speckles or crazy wild colors, and I think would. And I'm just so interested in seeing how once you have your colors, how when you start mixing them together in the pattern that she put together, how they're going to change and be different. So absolutely.
It'll be so fun to see. Yeah,
absolutely. So that'll be cool. Kelly and I were both trying to set little mini deadlines for ourselves. We have to finish this project before we can cast on the next one. And then I was like, well, that's never stopped me before. So
I know. I really just want to, especially because this knit along is starting and I'm really close. I wanted to get the shawl done so that it was here for people to take a look at, especially if we've got kits in store.
Absolutely. So I think the only other announcement that we have is mark your calendars for Saturday, June 2nd. We are going to be having an event at the store.
We did this last year, so if you were around last year, and you may have come for it, but if not.
So we call this our Meet the Farmers event. So we have 3 of our local farmers that are going to be coming in the afternoon. We're still firming up the time when it's going to start, sometime between 2 or 3 o'clock.
We're still far enough out. We'll let you guys know once we have that down.
But it will be in the afternoon. And they're going to come in and do a presentation about their farms, sort of their process. And who's coming in this year?
So this year, we've got 2 who came last year. We've got Peggy from Savage Heart Farm. She's got lovely caramel Corriedale cross sheep, and we've got some of her yarns over there, right, kind of over to the other side of Angela. Yep. It's so unbelievably soft and squishy. You know, a lot of people have this misconception that farm yarn is like scratchy and rough, and her yarn is just
the opposite of that.
Complete opposite of that. It is just so buttery soft. It's lovely. And so she's coming, and she's got a great story. She was kind of had a corporate life and decided that she really wanted to do a sheep farm, and her and her husband
just did it.
They're like, okay, let's do it. Just gonna do this. And so they did, and yeah, so it's beautiful. I've seen pictures. I haven't been over to visit her farm yet, but it's really lovely from the pictures I've seen. So she's coming, and then we have Brenda from Peter's Home Farm. Oh my gosh, she's got Shetland and mohair goats. So Shetland sheep and mohair goats, and so they do a lot of Shetland yarn, and they do a Shetland mohair blend. Oh my gosh, it is so soft. It is gorgeous. And we've got quite a lot of her yarn and natural colors, and she does some fun thrum mitten kits, which are really fun. Those are really sell well. A lot of kits do well.
Yeah, kits do well.
But and then her yarn is gorgeous. And then the last one we've got coming is Jessica Dillner, and she's from Dillner Hillside Farm. And she's got mostly mohair goats. Well, they're Angora, but they make mohair. Angora goats make mohair, is what the fiber is called.
Right.
Anyway, so she does everything herself, from raising the animals to shearing them to spinning the fibers to dyeing the fibers. She does get some commercially spun as well, but she does these great hand spuns, which are way over behind Angela. There they are. So she takes her dyed mohair locks and incorporates them with really lovely alpaca and wool, and sometimes some Angora, and makes these one-of-a-kind skeins that you can knit. She's got a really fun, simple shawl pattern with that one skein. With that, you can make them. Unfortunately, most of these, actually, Peter's Home we've got up on the website, but the rest of them, I don't think I've got them on the website, because especially Jessica, her colors change so frequently.
Right.
That
they're really like one-of-a-kind.
They are one-of-a-kind, so it'd be really hard to have her entire inventory on the website, but it might be something we get to eventually. But if it's something you're really interested in, you can always email us, and I'm happy to, if you have certain colorways or that kind of thing, we can send some pictures along to you guys. Yep. So those are the 3 farmers that we've got that are coming, and I know Jessica's going to talk a lot about the process. So she's going to talk about spinning and carding and shearing and that whole side of it, which is really fun. And awesome. And I know that Peter's Home, they usually are going to talk a lot about the Shetland breed itself, which is very cool, because it has very strong ties to Vermont, because the breed was going extinct, and so there was somebody who brought the sheep into Vermont and really kind of got the breed going strong in the U.S. So anyway, there's a lot of, they all have a unique perspective on it, and they're all very dynamic, great people. Yeah. So it's going to be fun just listening to that. But not only that,
we're going to have at least one, if not 2 different trunk shows going on that day as well. So for sure, Green Mountain Spinnery will be here doing a trunk show, and we're just firming up our second person. So we don't want to make the announcement until we know everything's set in stone, but we know Green Mountain Spinnery will be here, so that's going to be Saturday, June 2nd. It's going to be super fun.
It's going to be a great day. We had such a great turnout last time. We were in our old location last time, and that back room was packed. It was like standing room only, and we had put out a lot of chairs too. Yeah. I think we had probably close to 50 people.
And we have a bigger space. We have more room this year. It'll be great.
Yeah, it's great. So So definitely put it on your calendars if you're available or around. It's going to be a really fun event. So.
And maybe we always say this, I should set up the iPad and either live stream it on YouTube or capture some video that we can insert in. So maybe we'll try to do one of those
I actually
things.
have some video from last time. I took some video,
Nice.
but
Nice.
yeah,
So
very cool.
anyway, super cool. So if you're around or want to plan a trip to Vermont, June 2nd might be a good weekend
Yep.
to come up.
Yep.
Say hey. We're also in the planning stages of another night at the ballpark with the Vermont Lake Monsters. And then also during June is Worldwide Knit and Public Day. So we'll be doing some stuff at the store for that day as well.
Not me.
The rest of us will be. She's going to be frolicking somewhere else.
Frolicking.
That-
I'm not much
that-
of a frolicker.
That might be the title of our podcast, The Frolicking Counselor of Yarn. And then people will be like, what? What in the world happened during that podcast?
Oh boy.
I know, right?
It's taking me forever to get through this row because I have to stop and look down every 2 seconds to see where I am. Because I get thinking about other things and I really don't want to have to take out a row. This is why I bring really easy things to knit group.
Yeah.
When I have a chance to actually knit with knit group, but yeah.
Yep. So. Well, that's all I got, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about all I got too, which
Okay.
is good.
Because we're it's probably time for me to go pick up kids or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, just about.
Yeah. We were a little earlier today,
Yeah.
so we don't have to go flying out here.
Occasionally, you just see me we shut down the podcast, and I'm literally it's throwing stuff in my bag and
I'm
running out
Ange,
the door.
just leave everything else on. I'll take care of it. And she's like,
I'm out of here. Good
yeah.
times.
Yeah.
Good times.
So thank you guys again.
Thanks for coming by.
Yeah.
Stopping by, hanging out with us.
We appreciate you guys, all of our regulars who kind of stick with us. And the lights just went out. And
The lights are just telling us it's time to go.
well, then they were telling us 3 times
I know.
already. So thanks to everybody, all of our new viewers who've been checking us out, and thanks to everybody who's been sticking with us from the beginning. We appreciate you guys.
To episode 83.
I know.
Amazing.
We're coming up on our 2-year podiversary.
Don't you think there'll be some shenanigans on that episode?
Cake? Can we have
Yes,
cake?
we're going to have... I was going to bring cake. Yeah, we'll have cake. Kelly's been jonesing for cake for a month.
I don't I eat cake maybe once a year, and I love cake, but I just never have the
We'll have
opportunity to have
cake.
it.
I'll figure out which one's closest. Probably the one after 17th, 18th, the 19th. Right, because the 15th is a Monday. 16th, 17th. Yeah, 18th or 19th. Whatever day that is, we'll have cake. We'll have a cake podcast. Yay.
Excellent.
All right, anyway.
There will be cake.
There will be cake. Yes. Okay.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks
We
for stopping
will
by.
See you next week, unless
Yes.
Angela's schedule explodes.
Nope. Should be fine. Next couple of weeks should be okay.
All right. Awesome.
So,
We'll see you then.
later.
Bye.
We can get
Chin thingy on.
our intake outtakes.
Lick it. They fit perfectly.
Oh my goodness.
Perfect.
It's your cute little...
Perfect.
Ooh.
So funny.
I probably should pull the directions out. I was gonna grab, I have these little tab, they're sign here, and I was gonna grab those
for
to
your
mark
lawyering.
to mark my row, and I forgot.
I have some of those, but they don't say anything on them. They're just little
Yeah.
highlighter ones.
You know what's funny though is that most of mine have come from our accountant.
Oh,
when
sure.
He's
When you have to
sending
sign
me
documents.
things to sign, so he puts those on, so I make sure I sign everything.
Mm-hmm. I'm almost completely done with color 2. Which is good because I'm almost out
Of color too.
of color 2.
One of them I ran short on, but I
I think-
also didn't use the right yarn, and it was short on the
Yeah.
yardage when I began.
Well, I think color 2 is the one that you use the most
Most
of.
of.
Yeah. I do believe, let's see, I did 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Ooh, I get to do 2 rows of color 3, and then 1 row of color 2, and then I'm done with color 2. And then I've got,
Cool.
well, not rows, but, you know, groupings. I consider it a grouping because you have to have 2 of the same color, so the little bumpies turn the same color. You know what
Yep.
I mean?
Yep.
And then I have
First.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 to go. And then I can start my Changes Shawl. I can't wait. It's so beautiful. This is really, oh my gosh. So Kelly had the funniest story about this yarn.
Yeah.
Did I tell you this?
No.
That it was a bear. She had the hardest time, like, with this yarn.
The DK stuff?
Well,
Or
not just the dyeing of it. She
Yeah.
hated it.
Oh no.
She's like, and so she kept over dyeing it, and then she's like, well, I think this is good. We'll see how it goes. And she's like, I'm so thrilled that it sold. She's like, by the time I got done working with it, because she's like, you know, it was so fussy. Like I had a vision, but
Yep.
then it didn't come out as she wanted it to. So then she kept like adding to it, and by the time she was just done looking at it, it wasn't that she didn't like it. She was just like over it.
Done with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's like, I'm going to try to recreate as best I can, but she's, it'll be a little bit different. I'm like, well, you're
That's
a hand
fine.
dyer. People get that. So
Yeah, it's fine.
she's like, I know what colors I use. So I'm like,
That's
it's
fine.
totally fine. Yeah, it's really
nice.
pretty. Yeah. So
Is she gonna do a DK line regularly? Because I know
don't
DK is
know.
not really something. I totally asked her to do something that she's doesn't normally have.
yeah, and she does have, that's part of the, that's part of the reason.
Yay me.
That's part of the reason it's going to take a little bit longer because she has
She's
to get the
got more
base in.
D-
Yeah. I have to reply to this after.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Eh.
yeah, so it's gonna take a little bit longer, but, oh, I was gonna show you. Did I show you the pictures of the combinations I sent to her? I took pictures of ones of hers that we already have, and
Oh.
because she was like, do you have any color recommendations of things you think would
Mhm.
sell or would work well? And I said, well, not exactly these, but I wanted to pull ones that were hers.
Yeah.
So I told her like teals or turquoises for one, and then
Mhm.
like some warm tones for another.
Yeah.
So she's gonna play with those, not do exactly
but
these,
something
but
similar.
I wanted to kind of give her an idea, and I didn't want to use somebody else's yarn. So
No,
and
that.
she's like, oh, I like those. So,
Yeah.
because I want to have it be enough different than the one she already did. But,
Right. No, that's cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet.
So that was that.
Alright.
Okay, where am I? Oh, I'm doing this.
Are we ready?
I think so. Am I really gonna try doing this little bit of lace?
I don't know, are you? Sure you are.
What's the worst that can happen? I just have to pull
You
it out.
pull it out. That's the worst.
That's the worst. It's just knitting.
It's just knitting.
Mhm.
There's no knitting police.
I'm knitting, please.
You're the knitting police?
Yeah.
You're the gauge swatch police. That might be have to be the title of our show.
Gauge
police.
I don't like being police. I just like making recommendations. Can I be the gauge swatch attorney? I don't get to make the decision. I just get to make recommendations.
Counselor at Yarn. Oh. Everybody's got to be a jokester. No, just kidding.
You
That's
think it's
actually
funny.
I do think it's funny.
So don't even.
I think it's hilarious. And my brain right now is trying to figure out another funny slogan for the show title that's a play on those concepts. Don't worry, when it comes to me, I'll just shout it out no matter where we are in the podcast. And then I'll be like, you have to watch to the end and it'll make sense. Like we normally do. Okay, so I'm going to push this over just a little bit or move it forward closer to us.
Okay.
Woo-oo!
Okay, then.
Okay.
Oh, this was supposed to be... Whoa! You're wowing too?
There, are we both? Yeah, okay.
We're both in.
Should they move it a little closer? We good. I think we're good.
I think we're good.
We're good.
Because then people don't have to, like, stare at...
Extreme close-up.
Yeah.
Of my
So we're
face.
not, like, this close, but we're also, like, not, like...
Yeah, it's a reasonable close.
It is a good close.
Okay. All right, 7 minutes in.
People are going to have lots of goofiness to watch at the end.
They love it.
Sure.
Okay.
That's what we keep telling ourselves.
I know. They love it. That's why we just sit here and chat around before we start the actual podcast. One day I'm just not even going to move this to the end and
we'll just come in like
normal,
like
away. 20 minutes in we'll be like, oh, by the way, you've come to the Most Loved Her podcast.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Ready?
All right. We're ready.
Okay.
Okay. We have to do podcast.
Podcast phase.